They can't see that.
Hey guys. I know you're thinking right now, you're like, why am I pointing over here to the side where there's nothing? You can't see it now, but there's a thing that's going to be here. So because of that thing that's going to be there, it's going to be a good time. So if you guys are coming over from Instagram, welcome. If you guys are coming from YouTube because you like coming from YouTube, then welcome for that too. But long story short, we're about to go live talking about today's topic, which is beginner whiskey kits, which should be an interesting topic because who talks about this? I don't think a lot of people get into this to train people for tasting whiskey. So that's what we'll be doing today. So let's go ahead and say what's up to Landon and get this party started.
Boom. You like that, don't you?
I do. I enjoy that song very much. More than I want to admit.
Hope everything's good.
All right.
But...
Okay. So, beginner kits. Wait, are we jumping right into this, or what are we doing? Wait, I feel like we have a format.
No.
What's the first thing we're doing?
What is in your glass, man? What is in your glass? What's in your glass?
How did you know? This nice little heavy pour is actually from the picture I took today on Instagram. This is Highland Park Dark Origins.
Oh, look at you. I actually don't have that bottle, and I still see it on shelves, even though it's technically discontinued.
I saw it for $80 recently, and I wanted to buy all the bottles. And then I realized I need to, pay my mortgage and stuff.
Adult things.
Whatever.
For me, it's the same thing I posted on Instagram. It is Feel Good, Fruit Fancy, Ben Ryack, 12 years.
Ben Ryack?
Ben Ryack, 12 year.
Ooh,
So, yeah,
fancy.
I'm excited. Single Malt Alliance is coming down here to do a Scotch Malt Whiskey tasting
I can't see.
next week. Oh, you can't see me? What can't you see? Oh, you can't see chat?
Yeah.
I'll just say that, man. Shit.
Oh, all right. Hey, Steffi Jones's last name isn't Jones.
What? Oh.
Yeah, whiskey entitled party mix. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Salted caramel shake. That's what you're having instead of whiskey. Wait, is there whiskey in your salted caramel shake?
A salted caramel shake
with whiskey.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
But yeah. So got what? Get any new bottles this week?
Yes.
All right.
And I left it. Your volume's too low.
Whose volume?
And I left the new bottle. Yours. I left the new bottle in the other room. I'm not going to go get it.
Really?
You'll just have to trust me. Wait, do you want me to go get it? All right.
You go get it.
I'll be back.
All right. He'll be back. All right.
Good luck on the show.
Thanks. I'm done. All right. Is that better? Steve, let me know, man. I bumped mine up a bit. I got Powers whiskey. Like it seems like everyone else got this as well. It is 3 Swallow. Yeah, so I actually liked the where is it? The John's Lane. So I'm hoping this is similar. So we'll see. I haven't opened it yet, so I can't give you guys a recommendation, but I did like this a lot. So that's what I picked up this week.
Your volume's still a little low. Turn it up.
What? No, you turn your own.
You heard me.
Mine's gonna be hella loud then. All right.
My volume's already up.
How about that? Is that better? Hello?
There you go. That's everybody. That's all. What everybody wanted.
All right, fine. Fair enough.
All right. So I don't know if I showed this bottle off or not. So here we go. The only new bottle I've gotten is this. It's Armagnac. Did I show this one?
You showed it on our cigar thing. On
Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. It's Armagnac A5.2 called Musk Coated Candy Floss. And of the last batch of everything that came out of Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, this is the only thing that I liked.
Really? Huh. And that was
for the price. There were 2 whiskeys that I liked. Yeah, there were 2 whiskeys that I liked. Case Anagers. There were 2 whiskeys that I liked, but the problem is they were like 300 a piece.
Yeah,
and I was like
35-year ones, right? I think it was.
I was like, no.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh wait, I have this bottle. Does this count as new? Because it's shiny and copper colored.
It's weird, man. Like it makes me feel like it's a cake.
How about this? Is this weird too?
Oh, that one's the weird one you showed me last time. So. Hey,
how cool is that though?
It does look cool, but it's just weird.
I don't know what to do with it. I think they're just nifty, and I just did it as a project. I have no idea what's going on.
You know how Wally
is. This is whiskey related, Steve. Suck it. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with these. Yeah, but what do you guys do with your empties? Just tell me in chat, because
I recycle.
Hey, Richie Z, I have no idea what to do with them, so I painted the insides of these because I have no idea what to do with these things. I was gonna turn them into lamps, but that feels cliche. Like everyone's done it.
A guy does it with glasses, right? He cuts them and makes them into glasses or candle holders.
Yeah, I've seen candles. Yeah, I've seen all kinds of weird stuff,
Oil
man.
lamp, that'd be pretty cool.
Recycled oil lamp? Am I going hipster?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing.
I
Like,
recycle.
no
That was really
offense, but
cool.
that
Oh, that
Macallan
makes
bottle is
sense.
kind of like regular, but it's not like larceny maybe.
This
That's
is regular.
that's a regular looking bottle. If it was like
I
the
mean,
reflection or those fancy ass ones, yeah maybe. Like,
I would use that as I would take the Macallan Leak number 6. When I'm done drinking it, I'm gonna cut the top off and just turn it into a regular
like a jug pitcher.
40-ounce cup.
There you go, fair enough. All right, so on to our topic today, and it's basically trying to pull
Dang, they're
from.
saying you needed to be louder, but I'm getting distortion on your vocals now.
Really?
Whatever.
Whatever. It was from. You had a tasting with the Scotch girl, right? On Friday.
I did. Went live with Bianca, aka the Scotch Girl.
Yep.
And I had sent her a 5-pack of different kinds of whiskeys that she'd never had.
Yep.
And then I walked her through them, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
You guys saw it on Instagram. It was 1 hour of crazy nonsense.
And that's the fun part, right? It's like it's sharing your whiskey with somebody that's never had it. 1. And 2, trying to figure out their palate or what they like, what they enjoy, something they would never try. I think you even mentioned that there was a Johnny Walker Black, something that someone might not even pick up, or was maybe out of someone's price range, right? Like the Signet or whatever, or the Cask Strength Macallan.
Yeah.
So, no, it was really fun, and I think that's what kind of helps up with this topic, because I actually have a friend that asked me to do probably the same thing except 12 bottles. So
that's a lot.
He's new into Scotch. He kind of gave me his list of what people have told him that he should try. I kind of use that list to say like, okay, fine, I'll tote that line, and then also send him some weird stuff. So go ahead.
We should probably be clear in the beginning when you've never had whiskey and you're going to try whiskey. Going by what a bunch of people recommend, it depends on where you're getting recommendations from. But what I would recommend, if anybody's doing their job as a whiskey, I guess we're all whiskey ambassadors when you really break it down.
Yeah.
But if anybody's doing their job, they should be introducing you to the different styles of whiskey that are available so that you can see which direction you should go and grow in.
I agree.
So,
I definitely, to be honest, we'll see the tasting kit in a sec. I definitely skewed it to more of a sherry thing. So.
See, and that's the thing is like you got to really watch that.
But it's not like
you can't just send people all the good stuff.
But it's not. So I definitely did the lower price point. I think it was anything less than $150.
It should be like less than $100 or less than $50 if you're going all beginner stuff.
Well, you'll see later.
Or $75 if you're going Scotch.
You'll see that some of the bottles I had used to be underneath 100, but then they jumped up in price.
I see.
So that's kind of where like most of the stuff is sub 100.
Ooh, Steve says he usually sends 4 blind samples that are vary based on the level of friend's knowledge. So that's important too, is knowing your friend's palate.
See, and that's also like blind samples. Like for instance, this person's not the person I'm working with anyway does not know anything about Scotch. So basically, you put Glenfiddich there, he'd be blind of what Glenfiddich is.
Yeah.
So
Glenfiddich is always.
But that's always, to be honest, it's always fun. Like that's what you did, Bianca, right? Like she knows Scotch, she understands it. She's an ambassador kind of thing, right? So she would know the names.
She's not an ambassador.
No, I mean like one of us, right? Enthusiasts.
Sure.
Right.
Whiskey ambassador.
Yeah. So it's more like, hey, here's something that, you know, if you mention the name Dalmore or if you mention the name Johnny Walker or something like that, she would have a perception of what it was already, right? So those are having fun with blinds. But yeah, let's go for it. So you got 5, I got a bunch. So let's go your way first because I would love to learn from you, and then we can go my way.
So I picked 5 bottles that I would do for beginners.
So first off, what do you ask the question first? Do you ask what their level is? Or
so let's assume that the person that's receiving these 5 is a total noob. They're a beginner. Okay. They don't drink whiskey at all, so they have no idea about anesthetizing your palate. They have no idea about retrohaling. They have no idea about how to taste. I always send them to, I hate saying this on this show, but youtube.com/scotchandsniff because I have beginner oriented videos on there for people to start from scratch.
I'll put it up in
So it's good for beginners because with beginners it's like, hey, here's the method to taste, because a lot of people do not know how to taste whiskey, and I'm ignoring Steve. A lot of people do not know how to taste whiskey, so you have to really bring them through the entire process of tasting whiskey properly, and then you can get them into things. So in the beginning, when your palate's not developed and you have no idea what you're about to get into, I like to start beginners with what I call beginner-friendly whiskeys.
Okay.
So the first one of these is going to be one that has gotten a lot of hate on Instagram, which I'm really surprised about. But to me is a fantastic beginner whiskey, and I'll explain why in just 1 second.
Bren.
It is the Bren Classic. Now, the reason, not the 10, which is vegetal and kind of weird, but the Bren Classic, this noses like bubblegum and banana runts. It tastes like bubblegum and banana runts, and it finishes like soft whiskey. All three of these things make it super beginner friendly. If you can match up, if it's something that's super light with alcohol, so 40% because it's whiskey. If you can, is this considered a state cask? Oh, it is. I didn't, in small letters.
Boom.
I always call it the Classic. If you can smell and taste the same thing in a whiskey, to me that's more beginner and not advanced. A lot of
so
more
smell and taste
advanced
compared together would be your goal. So that's your beginner.
Right. So if they're simple and they match up like this, it's very easy to do that. So with Bren, you can be like, hey, what are you tasting? They'll be like, wow, it's really sweet. And be like banana runts. And they're like, oh my gosh, it tastes like banana runts. And then like smell it again. And you're like, oh my gosh, it smells like banana runts. Like, there you go. So you're good to go.
Do you like to suggest things first, or are you more like, hey, tell me what you think? And then...
I try to let them... So here's the thing. As a beginner, they're going to feel stupid because they're going to be like, I don't know what I'm tasting. Like, we all do that, right? And so, like, the ABV is 40%. 80 ABV, 40% alcohol. So with a beginner, sometimes you have to give them a little auto suggestion. But what I like to do is pry it out of them first. Let them see, like, so they don't think they're crazy.
Yeah.
Be like, tell me what you're tasting first. Give me a little hint of what you're tasting. Like, think about it. So I try to give them, is it floral? Is it fruity? Is it sweet? Is it sour? Is it salty? Is it smoky? Like, there's a small range of things in different directions you can start to go. Like, if you look at a flavor wheel, this is what you'll get at the center.
Gotcha.
So
Brand 10?
Starting it with
Classic.
Brand Estate Cask, because it's a great way to start with that. So another beginner one that I love to dip beginners into, and I just realized that 2 of the ones I have are from William Grant & Sons, which is weird. I love giving people Glenfiddich 12. To me, this is solid because for people, you're like, here you can get fruity, like apples and pears. So you can help people like specifically the type of fruit, like in this case, tree fruit or stone fruit, whichever you'd like to call it. Stone fruit's got pits in the middle, whatever. Like
apricots.
But you've got tree fruit coming from here, so they can pick out specific fruit and super floral, which is really nice. So you can get both of those together in one. Again, it's a lighter spirit. It's beginner friendly. Price point's perfect because it's like that. The Bren was $50. This is $50.
There you go. Yep.
Like all of these are right at the same spot for a beginner. Because to me, that you really need that for it to be friendly. Because beginner friendly, it's friendly on your wallet and friendly on your palate.
Plus, you know, with those type of whiskeys,
2 birds with 1 stone.
Especially with their house flavor, you can go, hey, you like the 12, you can go up to the 15 or the 18.
Absolutely.
So they have that guidance, I guess you could call it, avenue.
Yep. It's a good way to show them like this is the. Yeah, distillery character is a whole different thing. It's a little more advanced than what you're going to give a beginner, but it gives them a good idea when you're going through families.
Yep. All right. Next one up.
The third one up. So I like this distillery because of the honey notes.
I already know what this one is.
But here we go. Ooh. All these favorite tasting notes. Stone fruits. Steve, look up the type of fruits that are stone fruits and you'll see what's going on there. But no, most of the time it's tree fruits, not stone fruits. But I do enjoy the stone fruits. You've got the Balvenie 12 Doublewood.
Yep.
So Balvenie, when I first started tasting whiskey, Balvenie to me seemed really light.
Yeah.
And
easygoing, not too harsh.
Way too easygoing because the honey notes really make it smooth, and you're like, there's not a lot of complexity here because it was so light.
How strong is the honey to you when you have it?
It depends on which one. The 12 Doublewood is really will bounce with honey, but like
so when I tried it for the first time,
14, a couple of them really.
Yeah.
Oh really?
It was honey there, but it wasn't like I'm drinking honey syrup.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like in the beginning, I didn't really get all that much sherry from the Doublewood, but like as palate developed, like later on, like I really learned to love this one. Yeah, so Balvenie, it's hard not to like, and their whole line is really friendly.
Yeah.
I know a lot of bourbon drinkers swear by the Caribbean Cask 14.
Yeah.
It's super good because the rum cask, absolutely, it's friendly also.
Gotcha.
But their whole house spirit is friendly, which is nice.
Yeah.
All right. Third up is much more sherry, but it's not Macallan because I know a lot of people talk Macallan. It is definitely Glendronach. This just lets the person know if they like sherry sweet wines. For me personally, I'd rather just get the person some sherry wines and have them try them. From like cream to the basics, cream, Fino, not Manzanilla. What are the other ones I would try right off the bat? Not Amontillado. Some of the more basic sherries. Anyways, just so they get an idea of what sherry tastes like on its own, the wine itself,
Madeira?
and then introduce something like Madeira's a good one, and then introducing them to something like the Glendronach, so they can get an idea. Here's a 12. It's priced well, $65. It also tastes fantastic. And if they don't like it, which some people don't like sherry, it's a good time to be like, oh, well don't worry.
Yeah. All right.
Exactly. And then the last one, I do like to, so it depends on the beginner.
Yeah.
Some beginners, I will shove them into the deep end of this pool, but most of them, I will start them right here.
Ooh,
so I'll get something that's friendly from Highland Park, because their peat is so much more floral and less disgusting ocean and cat's anus, that like I can give them this and it's a little floral and vegetal, and they can really get into like, oh, this is what peat tastes like in a friendly way.
Do you think that the Valkyrie actually shows light peat on the front?
To me, this is super sweet. Well, Highland Park's, so speaking of like distillery notes and notes that go through whole families, their distillery note of their light peat is in everything.
Yeah.
Minus like a 20-year single cask non-peated that I had recently, which was incredible. Yeah, stone fruits or apricots, peaches, and plums.
I usually think about apricots and peaches when I think about Clemson.
If it's got a pit in the middle, you're probably a stone fruit.
Probably.
So yeah, this is fantastic. Sorry, Steph. There's nothing I can do about that, because like,
that's the way you feel.
Because some peats just taste disgusting. So that's the thing. So I had not the last two people I introduced whiskey to, but the two before that. When I took them to Jack Rose, I took them through 10 different really all over the place whiskeys, except for peated stuff, and they didn't like it. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to order Ardbeg 10. I ordered Ardbeg 10, and they loved it. And I was like, well, we know what kind of people you are.
Yeah. Is that all the bottles you got?
Yeah, those are all 5. So to me, you don't want to overwhelm a beginner's palate. If you're going to give them like 10, 12, then you need to know, like, okay, sit down with 2 of these at a time, and you're going to do comparisons between the two so you can contrast like how the different notes in each of the spirits, because that'll help a lot for a beginner, especially if you don't have a wide swath of things on your palate to pick from flavor-wise.
All right, so I'm going to start off where you ended.
Yeah?
Okay. So we're going to go into Ardbeg 10.
Simple flavors first, Landon, not like... You could do regions, but the problem is I can give you good peated whiskeys from the Highlands. So regions is a little bit of a weird way to do it, to me. But stop. I need it.
Yeah.
All right, so what's going on here with this Ardbeg 10?
All right, so this is what... So as you know, this is my post about... So I actually got asked to make a sample kit. Silly enough, I told him 8 ounces, so these are freaking huge. So...
How many ounces?
No, 4 ounces. This is 4 ounces.
Holy piss.
So I basically, as you know, not many people come over to drink my whiskey, and I can't believe I picked up Ardbeg 10 right off the bat. Perfect.
Yeah, but 6 of those and you're emptying out the bottle.
Yeah, so no, it's great. I get to share stuff that I usually don't drink, which is Ardbeg 10. So for me, first off, I'm going, like you said, the Ardbeg 10 route. So as you know, if they love peat, if they like this bottle, you kind of know where they're gonna go, right? You kind of
yes, absolutely. So if they smell that and they go, "Oh my goodness, I love it," okay, we're done.
And that's where I think especially when you're trying to guide somebody through, you got the whole spectrum of whiskeys, right? You brought up the Glendronach 12. I put a Dalmore in there instead because that's what he had on his list. He wanted to try Dalmore, so I put the Dalmore in Ardbeg, and that's kind of where the furthest you're gonna get. So
yeah, that's like freaking like light chocolate versus freaking punch in the face.
So the first thing I'm going to do is basically say, hey, here's all the whiskeys that you kind of recommend or that you were recommended. This is what I picked out. And then go, hey, try it one day. You know, there's enough here for 3 or 4 pours, right? So one day, try this and say which ones you like and go through that list. So I'm going to go through it here. Yeah. I brought up Ardbeg 10 is where basically trying to figure out if he's a peat lover or not. I got...
Steve. So the Dalmore, I have mixed emotions on. Do I think that the 12 or 15 or 18, because they all taste the same, are solid for a beginner to just start with so they can see what's going on with Dalmore notes and like lighter chocolatey fruit, like chocolatey notes? Absolutely. Yeah. But price point wise, like...
Oh, no, definitely not. That's kind of why you want to help people out. And it's like
they rise so fast for no reason.
And I think this is the best thing for us as enthusiasts is sharing our experience so then people don't get damaged with that. So... Oh yeah, I'm very generous.
Steve is jabbing me. Steve is jabbing me because like I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, you get a 1 ounce sample, I can share with 25 people instead of 6.
So yeah, and then going through the route that you were going through, I don't have Glenfiddich 12 on my list, so Glenfiddich 15 I think is a good supplement to it. And I know it's not going to give you a base, but at least he's going to understand a Solaris system. You can kind of walk him through what that is. So 15.
Yeah, you'll get quite a bit of sherry in that.
Yeah, so that's a good to share.
Oh, Christian C just had a good comment about the Talisker 10. So Talisker 10 and Highland Park, they're both on the islands up there, and absolutely, they have the same problem that Highland Park does. We're going to visit Highland Park. I just got an email back today, so I have the dates for Highland Park. I need to book the planes for that. And then she's going to get back to me with the Glen Roth estates, and then I'll be able to book Balvenie and everything else.
Gotcha.
Whew.
And then next up on the list is going to be the Balvenie Caribbean cask, like you mentioned.
14 Caribbean cask.
I feel as though that, yes, the 12 is great, but if you're a bourbon drinker like I know he is, he kept telling me how his dad and stuff.
Yeah, so much sweeter.
I think this would be a perfect gateway, I guess you call it. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Richie Z just said, how about the Oban 14? The Oban is solid if you're trying to introduce people to a little bit of smoke without peat.
Yeah.
To me, that's a little more advanced because you're separating smoke and peat from each other. But the salinity in Oban 14, along with that smoke, especially like the Little Bay, really emphasizes it. Like, oh, it's a good low one.
And then the one thing I was surprised about is you didn't bring out Highland Park 12.
I brought out the Highland Park Valknut. It was more interesting than the 12.
I think the Highland Park 12 is an easy one, like you mentioned before.
Also, price difference.
Peat. Yeah, cheaper.
12 is like 70. Valknut's like 50. Yeah.
I thought it was a bit closer, but okay. But yeah, I just thought it was great.
See.
I was thinking about the 12 or the 15, but I think the 12 would have been a lot better, especially with the
15's like a hundo.
Yeah. And then I think I got a last one on. Oh, actually no, we got two more. Actually, I actually remember what the last one was that I forgot about today. I brought out a Irish whiskey, which is Powers, which I really really enjoy. Light. Smoother, I think, just because the distillation process, I think it'd be a lot easier for people. So I brought that out just to give them an Irish, not an ad. Hashtag not ad. And
there's I've never had Powers. The only Irish I've had is the one that I love, and that's Stupid Patty's. I wish I never blind taste tested it.
And then
so freaking good.
I brought this in because I'm biased towards this. I love
Which one is that? Quinta Ruban?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of port, so
port, right?
I'm hoping people enjoy the port as much as I do, so I kind of snuck this in there. And
with the Glenmos, I actually start people with the Nectar d'Or instead because it's got super sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, super sweet Chateau de Chem, Sauternes casks. So you're getting that really, really very sweet dessert wine along with their house notes, which their 10 is meh, but bourbon drinkers seem to really love it.
And then to blow his face off, I did get the Glenlivet Naduro.
Oh, Najera Oloroso?
And the reason why I did that is because he had a Glenlivet in there. I think it was like the 15.
Boring.
I don't have that. So I was like, here, if he wants to try Glenlivet, I'll toss this in and I tell him it's pretty hot. But I enjoy it. So I know it's a bit biased, but I thought it was a great add to his list.
No, that Najera, like all the Najeras I love.
Yep.
Sorry, Christian saying Oban 14 is a little more barbecue. Yeah, a little more smoky. Land in the Balve 17 double wood is really, really good, but that's like 125 price point, 125, 150, depending on where you go.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit much for a beginner. So the 12 gets you most of the way there, although the 17, it's purple because it celebrates 50 years for David Stewart, and it's David Stewart's favorite Balvenie. Like, of all the Balvenies.
He said that before, but he's also said the 21's his favorite, too, so I don't understand.
The 21's solid.
I know, that's why I'm like, is it the 17 or 21?
Kevin... Yes, absolutely. You should save peated whiskey for the end.
Yes.
Because of the phenols. Absolutely. Like, peat will ruin everything else.
And that's
so
why
you can't start with like a Colila.
Yeah, and to be honest, I guess that's why it's good that I poured a lot, because then he can do it one a day and then he can do side by sides. I think that's
and then he can go back. Yeah. I mean, that's a 2-ounce bottles or 4, but 4 is
I know. I bought 8 for some stupid reason, like 8-ounce ones, and they're huge.
Yeah, Stefan, the Glenlivets, I'm really biased against them. Yeah, you're not just because they're one of the only distilleries that are open on Sundays, but like they're really, I just can't get into a lot of Glenlivets that are plain. The 12, the 15, I've had all the way up to the 25, and I'm just like meh.
He's more of a Glenlivet.
Until I had the Glenlivet Najuras, I really couldn't get into them. Then all of a sudden, at cast strength, they're monsters.
Yeah.
Like, they should all just be, the 25 should be cast strength. That would be sick.
And then to round it off, I added some weird funky ones. So I added over the McCarthy's one because it's a lighter peat. So if the Ardbeg was too peaty for him, but he actually likes peat, he can go McCarthy's route. It's a lot lighter. Like even I can drink this one, so it's always a fun one. I also added something that Steve won't like, but you will. A Yamazaki 12.
Oh, the Yama 12. So that's a good one for beginners, but price point.
Yeah. So
when it was $60 all day long because it's bubble gum.
This is actually a Japanese release too, so I got this at like $80. So in Japan.
Yeah.
So,
I bought it for $65 here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like this was cheaper, but now it's expensive, and plus like I poured him a pretty good sample. I'll be like, hey man, if you really like this, I apologize. It's kind of like your Snow Phoenix route.
Yeah. I feel bad for everybody who has the Yama 12 now though, because Yama 12. For $60, it's just a bunch of flowers and bubblegum. It was fantastic at $60.
Yeah.
At $120, it's a ripoff.
And then the last one, I know there's another one I actually put. I sadly forgot which.
The Harmony's a good blend.
I put Pikesville Rye. So
see, I stayed away from bourbons because I thought we were trying to introduce somebody to Scotch.
And that's the thing, though.
Pikesville Rye.
So he told me he just wanted Scotch, right? But I'm like, hey man, let's sneak some in there that I think you might like. So I was like, oh, the Scotch was bland or light. I got him with the Yamazaki that's different. I got him with a Pikesville that's different. I got a lighter peat. I actually trying to figure out what else did I put in here, because I put another.
That Pikes. There's not a whole lot of American like ryes that I like that don't taste like dill, but like freaking Pikesville Rye is so sweet.
I don't think you guys.
That's my 50-50 with Booker's.
So this is Westland's American single malt sherry wood. So I put the sherry wood in there.
Oh, that's solid.
So I put a lighter one in there, and I think that's it. Yamazaki.
Too much for a starter pack. Oh yeah, that's.
This is a good friend.
It's above and beyond.
This is a good friend, man. So, and plus, like,
he's got a starter pack plus.
I don't share as much whiskey as I should. That's kind of why I'm doing the giveaways and stuff. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all 12. So yeah.
Steve, do you even like any of that stuff? Landon, yes, I've had the Kentucky Peerless Rye twice now, and I've had the Peerless Deconstructed, which are like all three that they take to make the Peerless Rye. For the $130 for a 3-year rye, I just.
And Matt, if you're watching, dude, shout out. This is your box. I know he watches the show, so thanks, Matt.
In a second, I would spend $100 on Wilderness Trail Rye, so I don't know what's wrong with me. So,
yeah, you love that stuff, man.
No, the first bottle of Wilderness Trail I bought was $100, and like I have no qualms. The second one, I finally was able to. Yeah, the other 3 bottles of it that I've bought so far have been in the $60 range.
That's funny.
But I don't mind it though; it's so good.
But yeah.
But the Peerless Rye, yeah, it's really. I know it's supposed to be amazing, but even the Deconstructed, it was kind of meh.
And then in the comments, guys, let us know if you want us to do another what do you call it, blind kit with each other. I'll send Wally one, he'll send me one. We'll do that.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe like when I go visit you in May, maybe we'll just do that live stream, or we can do a recording and stuff like that.
You can do it for Jack Rose.
Ooh, we could do. Ooh, we get the Jack Rose guy to pick up some stuff.
I don't know about all that.
Well, they can pick random stuff. You don't like that? Well, we give him a price point.
Oh, you mean like Chris? Yeah. They're similar. Yeah. I thought you meant like, yeah, let's just have Bill Thomas go pick us up some stuff.
Thanks, Steve.
I was like, what?
Yeah, so, and to be honest, like, and just like Wally was saying, you want to get the gambit of what Scotch whiskey can do, or just whiskey in general can do. So you want to hit the peat, you want to hit a middle note, which I think kind of is Belvini Glenfiddich, and then you want to hit a sherry note like a Glendronach. You want to hit those 3 pillars, and then they'll find their way, and I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
We'll go with that for so far, because simple is best for beginners. Because getting into complex things where you're like Caveman Solus Vino Barrique, I would love to see a beginner sit down and be like, I don't know what's going on here, because I'd been drinking whiskey for like 3 years, and then I got into that, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, and a lot of times and I even saw this with Bianca when talking with you. It's kind of like, hey, guide me through, hold my hand. But sometimes you're just like, hey, let's let go first, doggy paddle, see what's happening. Okay, that's what you like, and then we'll figure out what stroke you're doing, freestyle.
Doggy paddle first, see what's happening.
Doggy paddle.
Okay, you're drowning. So let's get you out of the water.
Yeah, to be honest, that's how I see it. Because a lot of times when I introduce a whiskey, people, they're always looking at me like, what should I be tasting? I'm like, what are you tasting? Like, I don't know your palate. I don't know if you tasted
I don't know what memory this is tied to.
Like, have you tasted starfruit, dragon fruit, light cheese before? I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, well, if I say that, you have no clue. Christmas cake, which is a big one that pops up all the time. Like, how many people have actually tried Christmas cake? I'm from UK. Yeah, well, I'm from Australia. Like, we have Christmas cake, so I know what it is. But other people are like, what the fuck is that? So, or dill pickles. I'm a big fan of pickles at all. But like,
it's dill. Like dill, the spice. Yeah. I eat it all the time on fish, but I won't eat dill like regularly. And so like when I smell it in like Midwinter's Night's Dram, I'm like, put this trash in the trash can.
That's a funny thing. Like, I don't have a lot of things that I eat dill with, so that goes over my head, and I focus on other flavors. which I think is good for me, bad for other people.
Mm.
So, like, I love Midnight Type Jam. I love other. Gonzalez, bourbon, and Versuri.
Oh, I've only had the Vino Barrique like 50 times. Oh, and the Manzanilla, but the Vino Barrique like
Christian, you sent that to me, didn't you? You sent me those two. They're here somewhere.
Would you set up a tasting kit differently if it was going to a female? Look into my face. Absolutely not. Whiskey's whiskey, bro.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how much Bianca liked the Belle Meade Madeira, though. I like it a lot, but she loved it. Yeah. But that's her palate, though. It had nothing to do with her being female.
Christian,
although she did say I would share this with all my girlfriends.
I still have the Caveman olive oil that you have here. That he sent me over.
Caveman olive oil?
He said it's written as olive oil. I know they're not olive oil.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no tasting kits for females, same as males. There's no difference. Like, it's literally whiskey's whiskey.
Yeah, they say that their woman's nose is stronger, so I might go something that route if I really want to think about it. Like, what's really, really good and complex aromatically would be pretty cool, but it would be the same thing.
Women are really good at a lot of things without training compared to men without training, like shooting guns or tasting whiskey. Once you get training into the mix, you can really even people out. But in the beginning, women have an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I want to think of it any way, but I would, no matter who it is, ask them what have they tried first, and then go that way. Like, hey, have you tried bourbon before? Oh, I'm not a big fan of bourbon. Okay, I can move towards this.
That's the best, because then it's just like, here's a kit with everything labeled A through E. Just see what you like, and then when you really let people decide what they like, that's when you discover, like, okay, maybe you don't like bourbon, or okay, you do like bourbon, you just haven't tried a good one.
Which is really interesting too, because like with Bianca's stuff, she's a Scotch girl, right? So she's a big fan of Scotch. That's kind of where she goes, and I think she mentioned that, like, oh, this is a bourbon. I wouldn't expect it. I would have thought it'd be more like a deeper sherry kind of thing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like how a Scotch person in that realm is kind of like, oh, Belle Meade's something I could try out.
Lara Croft drinks Fiddick 6 in the leak. You mean Macallan 6 in the leak?
Maybe because you've mixed that up before.
I'm not Lara Croft, but I'm willing to join the dark side of being Lara Croft if that's what happens.
But yeah, let us know what you guys would do. Give us your 5 recommendations for beginners, and that'll help everybody out who actually checks this video out as well. So that'd be really cool. So label 5 of your favorite stuff that you would give a beginner. I just think it'd be great to share with the community. So yeah, let us know.
Do it or die.
What do you got in your hands?
Stuff.
You got some stuff. I was like, I want to get the station kit, but and Matt, tell us which one you like, because I know you watch the show, so let me know, dude. What?
All right. It's not my face being broken.
Yeah, it was funny. He was like, dude, I watch your show. I'm like, that's awesome, but awkward, because I know you. All right. Anything else coming up? I know that Scotch Malt Whiskey Society is coming in next week to film, so I don't know if there's going to be a show next week or not. So
okay.
So we'll communicate on Instagram. I think I might be able to do that show and then move.
If any of you guys are going to be in New York this Thursday and Friday, hit me up. Let me know. I'm throwing a distillery tour at Brooklyn Distilling at 2 p.m. on Thursday.
And Wally's a big fan of that place.
Friday, I'll just be running around taking pictures and maybe doing a podcast interview with Here in Spirit. So
that'll be fun. Guess be the fly on the wall on that one.
Yeah. So let me know.
Pick. I wonder why.
I'll try to do an Instagram live while we do that. That'll be fun.
That would be pretty cool. Man, you're going hot and heavy with that E.H. Taylor and stuff like that. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel would be pretty cool.
So if I was introducing somebody to bourbon, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel would absolutely be on my list. EHG Small Batch would not. Single Barrel would be. To me, the Small Batch tastes like crap.
Yeah, Cody, we did. I got the
Buffalo Trace. I've had a store pick and it was okay. I've never had the regular Buffalo Trace, but there's better stuff that comes out of them. I'd literally rather drink Sazerac Rye Neat than Buffalo Trace.
Just like every one of their Instagrammer.
I didn't get one. They know I talk trash about it. Irish whiskey, that's why.
Probably.
Weller Special Reserve. I don't do anything with Weller. All their stuff is overpriced and stupid.
Well, Special
Angel's Envy,
not that expensive.
Angel's Envy, I can't get into their base spirit flavor. No, it's not too sweet at all. Oh. So the rum cast that they had finished It smelled amazing. Then I tasted it, and I was like, no, this tastes like Angel's Envy, and I was out. I just can't get into it. Did you? Right. Yeah, we did new bottles at the beginning. You did miss that. Richie Z Westland American Oak is freaking solid with that this chocolate malt. Like, oh my gosh, the espresso notes just get me.
Count 12.
Deanston Virgin Oak is good. I don't know why it's making such a resurgence lately. People have been posting it a lot. I feel like I posted it. It's $35 and it tastes great.
Not bad.
I posted it like 3 years ago. No one cared. Mac 12 is super solid.
How much is Mac 12 nowadays? Is it 100 what?
I just go to Costco. It's $50.
Oh, okay. There we go. Because that's one thing I want to bring in.
Pallets of it. They have pallets of it.
You see that someone posted that Japanese whiskey that's like 17 years old from Costco.
Taketsuru?
No, it's a unknown. It's not Suntory or whatchamacallit.
So it might not even be from Japan.
No, it's from Japan.
Buna Palo Cortado. Oh, it's one that I want. I want the Buna red wine. I want the Buna.
Did Cody just have like a freaking like a big buy of Buna Haben? Like he had like 7 bottles or something.
Dude, Buna. Oh my gosh, I just want it all.
Can we go there?
Mac 12 Double Oak is not for me. I like the regular sherry. For a beginner, yeah. No, the 12 Double Oak is probably more familiar and friendly to bourbon people, but that American Oak influence is trash to me. And I know we need to go because it's been 36 minutes, guys. It's fun.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please leave down more.
Oh, it is supposed to rain, isn't it?
So yeah,
it is supposed to rain. I'll be in Ubers the whole time, and I don't know, taking pictures in the rain is fun.
All right, guys. What do we say here?
See you guys on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, maybe. I don't know. There might not be a show. Who knows?
Deuces. Pro juice.